Hey guys, Pettit here again, and this is going to be a video on the history of the Sylvari. I know you're probably not expecting to learn anything new from this video, but there are a few things you might not know about how the Pale Tree came into existence. Everyone knows about the Pale Tree and that's where Sylvari come from, but maybe you don't know how the Pale Tree actually came into being. And here I'll try to explain their history. Thanks. While humans explored the far Shiver Peaks and the dwarves fought the destroyers, a new race began to grow in the southern lands of Tyria. A single seed as big as a man's fist, planted in the ground of a ruined village along the southern tip of the Maguma jungle, began a centuries-long gestation, and heralded a new age. This story began with a human soldier named Ronan, whom, while separated from his patrol, discovered a cavern filled with strange seed pods. This cavern was protected by terrible plant creatures, so he fled, clinging to a single seed to show his daughter when he returned home from the war. But upon his arrival, Ronan discovered the Mersat had destroyed his village and murdered his family, leaving only ruined houses and mass graves. In agony he planted the seed on their graves and swore never to return to battle. Ronan was joined by an aging centaur named Ventari, who had also begun to lose hope and peace. The human and the centaur, against all odds, formed a friendship that surpassed the bounds of race. Together they decided to begin their lives anew and create a refuge for human and centaur alike. They built their safe haven near the ocean and the budding tree for all those who sought peace and shelter of friendship. The pale oak grew under the watchful and gentle eyes of Ventari, becoming strong and healthy, and giving the old centaur great joy. Yet this bliss came with sorrow. The centaur tribes in the north and west, crushed and driven out by Crichtons fleeing from the flooding coastline, grew more and more savage and brutal. As more tribes joined the war, fewer were willing to listen to Ventari's words, and his new outpost became smaller and smaller. At last, old and grey, Ventari carved his life's lessons upon a marble tablet, which he placed at the base of the Pale Tree so that future travellers might read it and, perhaps, learn the ways of peace and harmony. Then, many years after his human companion has passed on, Ventari lay down beside the tree Ronan had planted and died. The year was 1165 AE. The tree, white and sparkling, continued to grow. Over 100 years later, small cocoons appeared among its branches. These cocoons spun out, shifting and eventually ripping open, birthing a new race of people into the world fully grown, as if they had awakened from some magical dream. They called themselves the Sylvari, and these, firstborn, were only the beginning of a widespread emergence, all born from the same massive tree. The marble tablet still bears Ventari's last words, and the Sylvari who emerged from the tree found themselves strangely guided by these ancient lessons. Whether the tree, tended by Ventari, somehow became imprinted with the noble centaur's morals and ethics, or whether it absorbed both the remains of the centaur's flesh, as well as his compassionate soul upon his death, no one knows for certain. But it is certain that his influence over the Sylvari is strong. Even so many decades after his death, their race venerates the Ventari tablet as their most sacred artifact and testament. It is unknown how old a Sylvari can become, as they come forth fully mature and show no signs of aging thereafter. Sylvari have no children, no families as such, but each Sylvari feels a special connection to others through what they call the Dream of Dreams. In this dream, they commune with their inner mind of the race, learning how to speak, walk, use simple tools, and interact with the world. Thus, when a Sylvari emerges, he or she knows a great deal more about the world than one might expect. But the Dream of Dreams also contains nightmares, hidden whispers behind the voices of their fellow Sylvari. They do not understand what it means, but the Sylvari have yet to experience much in the world around them. They do not know the dangers and troubles of Tyria as intimately as other races do. They are learning.